In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up a newsletter from scratch using a system called Aweber. So I'm going to show you how to set up the sign-up form, how to add that sign-up form to your website, how to add existing subscribers if you have existing clients that you would like to add, how to set up a welcome message so that that can go out to those people, and then how to send out your newsletter to the people that are on your list. But before I get into showing you Aweber and going through all of that, I want to make sure that you're making a sensible choice over to where you spend your time and what it is that you do in order to promote your business. Because newsletters aren't something that I recommend for all of my BIB members in the BIB Accelerator. Sometimes a newsletter just doesn't fit for their business and what it is that they're trying to do. So I see so many people listening to the marketing gurus out there and then feeling like, oh, they're not going to be successful because they haven't got a newsletter, and people say, oh, you should do a newsletter. Or somebody somewhere says newsletters are dead, don't bother, it's not worth it. So then they think, oh, well, it's not something that I need. For me, the focus should be on you and your business and what it is that your ideas are, what it is that you want to build. So if you need any help with the strategy piece, I'm really passionate about that and making sure that you make a sensible decision for you. So that's why I wrote the Build It Brilliant blueprint, is not to give you some kind of do it my way or you won't be successful kind of formula, but to give you a blueprint, which is something that you can then use within your business in order to make strategic choices over what's right for you, and therefore not be a busy fool trying to do all of these things and feeling like you're not getting anywhere, or that you just don't have time to keep up with all of these things. So if you are interested in the Build a Brilliant blueprint, then I'll leave a link down below in order to go grab my book, and you can go and grab yourself a copy. Okay, so let's get into building newsletters on Aweber, and I'll show you how you do that step by step. So the first thing that you're going to need is an Aweber account. So have one of those. If you have the free version, you only get one list with the free version. So in here you have lists, and I have a number of lists. But if you have the free account, then you are going to have one list. I think as well, if you have the next one up, you also have one list. So if you have one list, you're going to need to do your newsletter via tags rather than creating a list specifically for your newsletter. So let me start a new list. So imagine that I have no lists whatsoever and I'm starting from scratch. We create a new list. Company name, so Build It Brilliant Limited. You can put your website in there. I'm not going to do that for now. And you need to choose your address so that that is at the bottom. Choose the name and from which email address you're gonna do. I'll come back to this in a second. Okay, so list name, I'm going to call this test. You will call it newsletter. And in here is the description so that when people sign up, they know what it is that they're signing up to. So have a think about how often you're going to send. So you could do weekly news, tips, tricks, and more from Build It Brilliant. So think about what is going to compel your people to sign up. Don't just put newsletter by Build It Brilliant. It's a bit boring. So you might want to think about in your description, making sure that that is something that people will really warm to. Okay, so we've got English subject line. So this is when people need to approve. So if people sign up to the list, there's lots of spammers and robots out there that sign up to lists. So having two-step sign up is really good because it stops fake email addresses and it stops the kind of robots subscribing to your list. So what will happen then is people who subscribe via the sign up form that we're going to create will then get an email to say, are you a real person? Confirm that you did want this information. And when they do that, they'll then get that email. So we've got a few suggestions here over what you can call it. And then we've got a message preview. You can edit the content, but it doesn't like you editing it too much because obviously it wants to make sure that it's nice and simple. So you can edit that if you wish and create the list. So once we have created the list, this is where people are going to come into. So all of the people that subscribe to your newsletter are going to be kept on this particular list. And then what you can do is you can have a look at the subscribers to that particular list. Obviously, I haven't got any just yet, but you would go into subscribers if you want to see them. So the next thing that we need to do is we need to set up a sign up form so people can sign up to this particular list. So in order to do that, we're going to go into forms, pages and forms, and we're going to click on sign up forms. We're going to click to create a sign up form. And here you've got two options. You've got on a landing page, which means that the whole page itself is held on Aweber. So in which case you could set up a newsletter from Aweber and have a landing page without having a website, which is really cool. You can also add, if you've got a WordPress website, you can also add a plugin to your WordPress website for Aweber, and then you can change the URL. So it can look like that particular page is on your website when actually it's not. It's a landing page, a full page on Aweber. But if you click for my website, this is just going to create a small sign up form. So for this video, that's what I'm going to do. So for my website. And on here, it's going to give you various options of the kind of sign up form that you can create. You can choose from the templates that are available. And if you just want like a name and email, you could create something like this, which has a transparent background. Have a think about where you're going to put it on your website and what you need. So if the background is white, for example, you just want a name and address, then that basic one is exactly what you need. Alternatively, you could do something quite simple with a bar at the top. You can change the colors of this. If I click on it, then I've got a background here, and I can put the hex numbers in for Build It Brilliant. And then, okay, so I can change these to being a particular branded color. So you create your sign up form. You can also say what information you want. So for a newsletter kind of thing, you're probably going to just want somebody's name and email. In here, you can also add in information if you want. So I could do sign up to my newsletter and make that white, put it in the middle, bold. So you can add text if you want to the top to let people know, or you could put that on the website and then just, like I said, use the templates just to put a simple name and address. Up here, you can change your details of what you want. So this is going to come up with, you can add an address. I don't want an address. So we can take that out. If I want to take that out, I can just remove. There we go. So once you have created your sign up form, you go to step 2. You can name the form. So I can call it newsletter sign up. You can use the thank you page that's on Aweber, or you could have a thank you page on your website if you wanted it to go there. You can choose where you want it to go. And then we are going to go step 3. Yeah, that's fine. Save the form. Okay, so here is where you're going to add that form then to your website. So I will install my form, and it is better if you use the long text here rather than the, this is the quick and easy version. I would suggest using this version, which is the raw HTML version. I've had certain little blips with the JavaScript, just where something just doesn't quite work. So I find that with the raw HTML, it generally works absolutely fine. There's sometimes, rarely, but occasionally there's little blips with the JavaScript version. So I'm just going to highlight all of this and press Control and C to copy. Okay, so how do I now add my sign up form to my website? So I'm going to go to my website. So imagine on your website that you wanted to turn this here, instead of my quiz, I wanted them to sign up to my newsletter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit the page. So in this one, what I've created is the name and email and sign up. So that is what it's going to look like. So I'm not going to change that one. I'm going to put it in here. So all you need to do is wherever it is that you want that to put, let's put on a left and a right, I think. So let's imagine I'm going to change this quiz here into my sign up form. So let me add a new column so I'm not editing something that I've already got. Add a new column. Okay, so we're going to put it in here. So we're going to go to drag in HTML. HTML. Drag that in. And then I'm going to Control and V, which is pasting that code from my Aweber. And as you can see, it's already brought it through. There's your newsletter. So all you would do then is update and save your website, and then that would be all done. So that's how you create a sign-up form and how you add it to your website. Pretty simple. So now imagine that you have existing clients and you want to add your existing clients to this particular newsletter list. Now, first of all, you need to ask them if they want to be added to your newsletter, and they'll be like, oh, yes, absolutely, I'd love to hear stuff. Then we go into subscribers, add subscribers. And here you get an option whether you want to add them one at a time, person by person, or whether you want to import multiple people at once. So it depends on what you want to do. So if I click import multiple, in here, I'm going to type in, just as it says an example here, the email address and then space and then the name. So if I do Zoe at refreshedminds.co.uk, Thompson, map the fields. This is going to say, what is this? So this is an email and this is a, I'm going to put that as a first name. So this is saying, do they need to confirm that they have a subscription? You can either choose yes, and it will send that confirmation message to them, or you can click no, because they've already said to you in person that they're more than happy to join your list. So you can add tags. So this is, you would, I'll go back to this tags in a second in sign up form. So if you're on the free plan, or if you're on that first plan, you only get one list. So in order for them to know that these people are on your newsletter, you need to add a tag. So in here, we're going to type in newsletter. They signed up, they gave their info in person. You can put current client in there. And no, we're not importing them from another email subscriber. So when you put submit your import, it will then import those particular subscribers onto your list. So just because I did forget to go through this on sign up forms. So if we go to sign up forms, and then a newsletter, this is the one that we just created. So in here, if you want them to be tagged, you need to add it in here. So this is the way that you tag people who've signed up to this specific thing. So if you've got multiple lists like I have, then it's fine. I don't need to tag people because it's only going to be on this test list. I can see that people are on the newsletter list. But if you only have one list, you need to separate the people that are signing up so you know what it is that they've signed up to. So what you do in sign up forms is you add the tag for this particular person. So people signing up via this sign up form will be tagged with newsletter, so that then when you are creating your messages, you can send it to everybody that's tagged newsletter. Okay? So next thing we're going to do is the welcome message. How do we do that? We go into automation and we go into campaigns. And in campaigns, this is where we're going to create the welcome letter. And there's even one in here that's already done for you. So you can click that if you want. And it will automatically kind of give you the series. And then you can delete stuff you don't like just by clicking remove, or you can keep it exactly as it is if you want. So on this is unsubscribe. Anybody that's a new subscriber, this is what I want you to do. If you have one list, you're going to have to replace this trigger with tag applied and then type in whatever your tag was. So for us, it's newsletter. So for that, it will say only run this particular sequence when somebody has been tagged newsletter. You can also not run it for people if you want. So that's an option. But for this, we're just going to call newsletter. Okay. So this one here, thanks for subscribing. If you click on this, it will bring up the edit. So you can edit all of these emails to fit your particular brand. You can add your logo. You can change any of this text, whatever it is that you want to do. If you click on something that, like here, you can just delete it if you don't want it. So a lot of the work has already been done for you in this particular thing. So we can update that email as a welcome email. And this says, this has a welcome and then a wait for a day, and then it sends another message, and then it says wait, and then it sends another message. So it's up to you how you want to structure it for your particular thing. So for this, they're just signing up to a newsletter, and my newsletter I've decided is going to be weekly. So I don't really need 3 emails. So I can remove all of this, and then I will literally just have, when you've applied, you're going to get that particular thing. Save. And then when you've got this, you can put that into, for the minute it's in draft, and you can publish that. And then you can preview it if you want. I'll have a look at what it looks like. But once you're ready, then you can publish it, and then that campaign will go out. I can't activate this campaign because I've not actually done the email. So once you have finished, it will come up with an activate option. You can click that, and then that's what will happen. So when people sign up, when they get tagged, they're going to receive that particular welcome email. So the last thing that I want to show you is now how do I send the actual newsletter? So for that, we're going to go into messages, and I'm going to go into broadcasts. Broadcasts is when it goes out once. So in here, you've got a few options. I'm going to choose the drag and drop because I really like it. It's got some templates you can use. So we can click on that one. I also like the fact that it's got all these things at the side so you can make it look how you want. So if you go to templates in here, then we can have a look down here. Newsletters. And you can literally choose one of these if you like it. And it will automatically, so if we say, I quite like this one, and apply, it will automatically give you those options. You can change any of these. So I can add my logo if I wanted with an image URL, or upload my image. I can put my headline in here about my, whatever it is, build your newsletter. and make it look however you want. You can change the colour of these if you wanted to make it more branded. I love that Aweber is so easy to use. And make it look like it's yours. So I would put in whatever I want my newsletter to be and save and exit. And then in here, here's the one that I've just created, we're going to schedule. So this then gives you the option to schedule the message that you've created when you want it to be sent out to your audience. What I love about this is you could schedule 4 newsletters for the next 4 weeks. You don't have to do it every single week. You can literally sit and create your newsletters and then schedule them for the next 4 weeks. So if we're going to schedule it, this goes through who should receive the message. So this particular people, and when should the message be sent, and do you want to tag any automations, which means if they clicked on something in the email, you can tag them to say that they clicked, which is quite useful. So we go through this and we make sure that we're happy with all of that, and then you just click to schedule. That will change if you edit this. So if I said I want this to go out on Friday at 10 a.m. UK time, apply, then once you clicked everything, it'll be schedule message. Obviously mine's missing a subject line, so it won't let me, but that's pretty much what you do to do that. So how much is Aweber, and what's the kind of difference between the different packages in Aweber if it was the system that you decided to use? So I've just brought those up for you to have a look at. So as I said, they've got a fantastic free option. So if you're just getting started, then the free one would probably be a great place for you. You might not need anything more. So this is up to 500 subscribers. You get 1 list, as I said, 1 landing page, 1 email automation, some basic support, and some basic templates to use. So if you're just starting out and all you need is your newsletter to go out, then you could do that for free on Aweber. This light one, the automations, you get more automations, you get more landing pages. So that's a good kind of starter one if you've got more than 500 subscribers, or you think very quickly you're going to get more than 500 subscribers, then might be worth looking at this. This is the one that I have, which $20 is about £16 a month, but you get email unlimited lists and all the templates and all sorts of stuff in there. So have a look. I'll put a link below to Aweber so you can go and have a look at that if it's something that you are thinking you want to do and you'd like to use this particular system. There are other systems available. Some people like MailChimp and have used that quite a lot. I gave MailChimp a go, but I got a bit frustrated because it didn't have the features that I wanted in the lower end of the packages, where I found that the Aweber lower end packages have more features in them. So have a look at MailChimp, have a look at Aweber, see which one that you like. Anyway, I hope that video was useful in terms of starting, setting up and creating and sending your newsletter. Just a reminder at this point, please make sure that you have thought about your business strategy first. I don't want you investing time and effort in learning and creating and paying for systems that aren't the right thing for you to be doing or aren't going to help you to grow your business. So if you do need help with the strategy piece, then go grab a copy of my book and have a read of that to make sure that you've already created a fantastic blueprint, a fantastic strategy, and then you know that investing your time and effort into a system like Aweber is worth it. So that is it for this week. I hope you found that a really useful video, and I will see you in the next one.